put the assignments, two assignments which sir had explained. So these are the questions. And regarding the second assignment, the data set is, I think it's still not available. So by today we'll give you the data set also. So did you? Everybody knows this link, which is the link for all the documents and questions and also the references. So everybody knows this link. Okay. So I'll just go through the assignment which sir had explained. So in the first assignment, it is so both the assignments are actually simple extensions of the word count program. The first assignment is you have to print the most frequently occurring words in a text document. Okay. So as sir explained previously, you can fix any threshold that you want depending on the input size you are taking, and so you have to count the words, and if the count of the words exceed the threshold, then then only you have to output it. So it is a simple extension of the original word count program. So anybody like tried this assignment, and did you have any doubts regarding the question? So in the second assignment, you will provide a Twitter data set, an example data set uh, about the various tweets, and it will be considerably large. And so what you have to do is you have to count the words with a hashtag. Okay. So in a tweet there will be all kinds of words, but the keyword of the tweet is preceded by a hashtag. So you have to count the number of hashtags and output it. So this also is a simple extension of the word count program. Okay. It will be a considerably large file, so you can really uh, observe how MapReduce functions on a large data. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask on the chat. Yeah, and one more thing, has everybody has put their email IDs and name and other details in that sheet? How many which colleges are yet to put their contacts on that sheet which I had shared? So you can professor wants the contact details of everyone who had attended this course. So if you have not filled it, please try to fill in that sheet by today. Okay, because I'll be sending the sheet to professor. So yeah, we'll begin. Last time, uh, professor had explained you the program, and what we want to do today is, since both the assignments are related to counting, we will show how you can compile a program, the same word count program, and we'll show you how it really functions if you give considerably large input. Okay. So if you can see my desktop, I'll show it to you. You know how you can write a separate file, separate MapReduce program, which to do in your assignment, and then compile it and run it on a considerably large input file. Okay. Uh, can you see this terminal? Then I will start. Okay. Uh, so you have to. I'll open the same program again. So in your assignments, you have to extend this simple program. Okay. So for example, in the first assignment, you have to write two MapReduce jobs and run them one after another. Okay. So for example, here in the driver code, you have only one job object. Okay, and it is this job is run and it is executed. So what you have to do is you have to write another job which will be fired in the cluster after the first job finishes. Okay, so you have to use this wait for completion method or any other method in the library to wait for the first job to finish, and so you can then fire the second job. So what you have to do is you have to set all the parameters of the second job also the same way as it has been set in the first job. Only thing is you have to give the correct class name. Okay. uh, So for example, here you create a new job object and you assign it, you set the mapper and the reducer classes for this job as this tokenizer mapper and this in some reducer class. Okay. So since you have written these classes, tokenizer mapper and in some reducer in the word count class, you have to give the names here. For the second job, we will write an additional class which will have the same, which will have the map and reduce functions implemented in a different way. So correspondingly, you have to give the mapper class and the reducer class parameters uh, respective of the names that you give for the second job. Okay. So since this assignment is about iterative computing, you have to fire the second job after the first job completes. Okay, so same way you can extend this program. uh, After so the way to compile this is you can refer to this document from Apache Hadoop. What you have to do is after you write the program, first you can compile it using the same JavaC compiler which you have installed previously. Okay, so after this, you execute the JavaC. The corresponding classes will be created. Okay. So as you can see, this word count class and also the reducer and the mapper class is already created after compilation. Okay. Uh, any questions till now? I'm explaining the separate compilation of a MapReduce program. If you haven't done previously, you can check this out. Any questions till now? Yeah. The next step is you have to create a jar file of the classes. So in your first assignment, obviously you will have more classes than this. You will have extra 2 or 3 classes depending on how you write the second job. Okay, so you have to create a jar file out of the corresponding classes. Okay, you can see here one jar file has been created which will contain all your classes. Uh, Next step is you have to check the input directory whether it has any large files or not. You can simply put a new large file for your testing. So here we have let's say you can here we have put a file called this text file called as new input, which is approximately like more than 2 GB of size. So you can test your program on such sizes also, so you can understand the functioning of MapReduce in a more clear way. Um, what has to be zoomed? uh, you want something to be zoomed, this terminal or this okay, okay, yeah. Is it clear now? Is it clear now? Okay, uh, so you have to uh, yeah. So next step is, after the input has been put, okay, you have to just execute the Hadoop jar command. Okay, so I'll do this now. You can check. So in the same way, you execute your assignments. Give the jar file name and the class name which has the main function. Okay, so it will start executing your assignment, your program. Now, since this is a 2 GB file, it will just take a few minutes to complete. It has started with 0%, and you can check which nodes are being used and how much are used in this UI. So as you can see here, containers from the first node, 7 containers from the second node, and 5 containers from the third node. Since we have a 3-node cluster, are being currently used to run the job, and this can keep changing depending on the status. I mean, depending on how the job progresses. So the same way you can execute your assignments, like you'll be able to see the job completion about the map and the reduce percentage. Okay. Uh, you will observe that the reducer will start before the all the jobs are finished. This will depend on the reducer slow start parameter, which is given in the configuration files. Uh, as you can see, now only one container of one of the nodes is being used. That before all the maps finished, uh, the reducer phase started. Okay, so this is for better utilization of the cluster. Okay, so in the initial phase of the reducer, there is a shuffling phase. Okay, so shuffling phase is where the keys, that is where the key value, which is the output of the maps, it is brought to the correct reducer based on the partitioning function. So even before all the maps are finished, this shuffle phase can start to bring in the completed map output to the correct reducer. Okay, which will optimize the cluster, and which helps in completing the job a little earlier. but you can notice that the actual reduce function won't start until the maps have been finished. It is only the reducer phase which involves shuffle sort, which will begin before the maps start. So you can actually configure this parameter in the MapRed. I think it's the MapRed XML file. You can specify when the reducer will start. For example, if you specify 0.9 in that file, then your reducer will start after 90% of the map tasks are finished. So you can test with this parameter and check whether by giving certain parameter your cluster is performing. Any questions? Uh, have you? I assume everyone must have compiled this program and run it on your cluster. So this job will continue for a few more minutes. Uh, so has every one of you started the first assignment? Because I think next week you will have to. I mean, it is good if you submit the assignments next week. So okay, so if you have any questions regarding the assignment, you can mail me and Balaji. You everyone has our email addresses, right? So if you have any questions, if not understood the assignment or something, you can mail us, mail me or Balaji, and then you can proceed with the assignment. Uh, Regarding the data set, it will be available by today. Then meanwhile you can finish the first assignment, and then by the time the data set will be available. Yeah. So uh, okay. So last time uh, professor said that he will take a class tomorrow at 10 a.m. Okay. So so today's class, if you have any questions regarding the assignment, okay, that is the purpose of today's class. You can ask the questions regarding if you have any doubts regarding assignment questions, uh, and also regarding compilation and running of a separate MapReduce job. Because tomorrow, I think Professor, I think tomorrow's lecture will be the last lecture. I think, yeah, maybe tomorrow's lecture will be the last lecture, last teaching lecture. So tomorrow at 10 a.m., Professor will take the lecture, and so he has just asked me to check whether everyone has understood the assignment. That is the one thing, and please try to finish the assignments maybe by the end of next week. Okay, this is one thing, and second thing is please fill in your contact details and your names etc. in that list. Okay, professor wants that list for himself. Okay, yeah, we'll give our email IDs once again to you. Okay. Yeah. डबल एल है क्या? Hello. Yeah, so we have given our email address. You can ask any doubts. Uh, or no, no, you don't have to send the assignments to our email address. Uh, we'll announce where to submit the assignment later. Okay, so right now you uh, complete both the assignments. We'll announce where to send the assignments later. Okay. For now, you only you only try to fill the contact details sheet and mail us the questions regarding the assignments. Okay. Yeah. What about the other colleges? Actually, you have to send the student contact details not to the mail IDs, but you just uh, mention your IDs in the document which I had given last time. Okay, I'll give the link again. Okay. So in this document you can write the student details. Okay. Yeah, I've put the link and you can put the student details in the that link. Okay. Any more questions? Hmm? Okay, and one more thing. Oh, okay. So yesterday the link was not opening. Okay. Don't know. Is it opening right now for you all? Currently, is the link working for you all? Link open हो रहा है, check करो तुम्हारे mail में. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Okay. So it's opening now. Okay. I don't know what was the problem yesterday. I did not check yesterday. Okay. Yeah. And one more thing. Regarding if you have if you regarding further understanding about MapReduce and Hadoop, there are some research is done in our lab. Okay, and so I've put the research papers uh, in this document. Okay, so if you want to know what MapReduce and Hadoop research has been done in our lab, you can read these three papers. I think these are the latest ones. There are a few papers prior to this also, but at least try to read these three papers and try understand them. So you'll come to know how MapReduce and Hadoop can be applied and how it can be configured and tweaked for several different use cases. Okay, for example, in this paper, Chisel, a resource savvy approach for handling skew. So this paper deals with uh, skew input. That is, if the input is in such a way that a lot of data gets accumulated on one node, and also if the job is such that a particular phase of the job gets stuck, or gets requires a longer time in execution, so that the overall job completion time is affected. So how to tweak map Hadoop and MapReduce in such a way that such input is handled. So such skewed input, or such you can say a rare input is given, how to handle that in MapReduce. It is explained in these two papers. This will be a uh, extension of the previous paper. It uses different partitioning techniques. Okay, so I explained how the shuffling of the map data occurs before the reducer starts. So that is based on a partitioning function. So depending on the partitioning function, the map output goes to the reducers. So how can you tweak the partitioning function to achieve better job completion time, or to better utilize the cluster, is explained in this paper. Uh, Yeah, so I think the job, meanwhile, the job got completed, and as you can see, all the containers are freed up, and the job output is available in the HDFS. Uh, so you can see this reduce started after 85% of the map, and then after maps were completed 100%, then the reducer finished very quickly. Since all the output of the maps was available, the reduce functions uh, had all their input data and could be completed very fast. Okay. So yeah, I think the links are working now. So you can join. Yeah. Any other questions? Okay, I'll give you the first link also. Yeah, this is the link for the folder which contains all these documents. Please check if you can, if it's opening for you. So I think this Aditya Engineering College has filled, EDC College has filled, Gurlavaleru College has filled. Okay. Okay. So if any those have not filled it, uh, please fill this document. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Uh, And regarding the references, if you don't get the latest edition of these books, yeah, you can use an older edition, and just check the check the topics, and you can read accordingly. Okay, and yeah, same for the Hadoop book also. Check the topics and read accordingly. tomorrow class will be there. Professor will be taking the class at 10 a.m. Which will be the last class, last teaching class. So please join tomorrow, and yeah, thank you for attending.